Suppose that you read a news article stating that listening to Mozart makes you smart. This article appears to be fairly credible and even references a scientific study as the source of this discovery. Sounds completely accurate and trustworthy, right? Well, maybe not so much. Information can be gathered from intuition, experience, scientific research, and authorities. Scientific research is done by researchers to investigate all sorts of different subjects. Researchers doing scientific research prevent the issues found from other sources of information by using comparison groups, making observations looking for evidence that might support that their theory is incorrect, examining data to draw conclusions from the results, and using repetition. If the results of the study can be replicated, it can strengthen the theory. Let's go back to the Mozart example. You might use intuition to believe that this idea is true. The most readily available thing in your mind might be the article that you read about the Mozart effect. However, this is availability bias, since the most readily available thing in your mind is not always the correct finding. Did you dig deeper to find more information? Not really, since it did not seem necessary. Authorities, such as celebrities, might endorse a program that involves Mozart for babies, so it might seem like this makes the finding more legitimate. However, they might just be paid to do this and might not actually know anything about the effect of Mozart music. A look at the original study would reveal the findings were actually far off from what was reported in the article. Listening to classical music only temporarily improves spatial intelligence in the study. The danger here is that people might think that Mozart automatically makes them smarter, so they might not do other things to prepare for tests such as studying. For young kids, parents cannot just have them listen to music. Instead, they should engage in other activities as well that exercise their minds. This is why it is important to be able to look at scientific research and understand what the findings mean rather than relying on other sources of information. Scientific literacy is the ability to read and understand scientific concepts and procedures. It has to do with being able to interpret what the words and results mean from scientific research. The issue here is that while scientific research is full of useful information, it also has language that is difficult to understand. This is where scientific literacy comes in. If a person can understand what was going on in the study and be able to properly interpret the results, they can use the information from the study for their own purposes. They could understand that the Mozart music from the example only has certain effects for a limited time. Scientific literacy involves understanding what the goals of the study were, how the information for the study was collected, and what the results were. Being scientifically literate means being able to recognize whether research came from a credible source and what the researchers mean by terms such as correlation. It also has to do with recognizing what kind of claim a researcher is making and how strong this claim was based on the aspects of the research. If a person is scientifically literate, they can use scientific research for their benefit and for the benefit of others. Next, the importance of scientific literacy will be discussed.